PH Athletics presents Bronco Baseball. Today, the Hackensack Comets against the Pascack Hills Broncos. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to say it's finally short-sleeve weather here in Montvale. We've been cold and windy for the past few weeks, but now it is time to get back to summer, and what better way to do that than with baseball. Today is a Group 2 school, us against a Group 4 school, that being Hackensack, and both teams are just over 500. In fact, the Comets are 2-2 through 4 games. 2 losses early, especially one 0-8 to Northern Highlands. Hills, of course, 3-1 after yesterday's 9-2 win over Ramsey. Broncos have just taken the field. The starting pitcher today is sophomore Joseph Napolitano. He had a good performance Saturday in the Broncos' only loss in the Tom Coachella Classic against White Englewood. Let's see what he can do in his first varsity start. Bringing that and the game to you in just a few moments. As we said at the top of this broadcast, this is Joe Napolitano's first varsity start. He is a sophomore wearing number 22, but he did have an earlier appearance last Saturday in the Tom Coachella Classic against White Englewood. In that, he pitched 36 pitches, 3 innings total, gave up just 1 hit, and had 4 strikeouts and 1 walk, although he does not have a recorded earned run average. Here is the first pitch of the game, a called strike. Low pitch almost hit him, but did not, so it is 1-1 now. At the plate for Hackensack is Christian Pelaez. The 1-1 is high and outside. 2-1 now to Pelaez. He has a .467 batting average through 15 at-bats and a .533 slugging. 1 RBI. Two and two after that pitch. Swung on and missed, and one goes away. Christian Pelaez. Swinging strikeout to start Joe Napolitano off. And now up comes Leo Spitaleri, a senior batting .308, .385 slugging. Top of the first, no score. This is the second at-bat. It's a called ball. Another ball. 2-0 start for Spitaleri. Sun's out, bugs out. Not very pleasant, but at least we're warm. Another high one makes it 3-0. Called strike, so 3-1 to Spitaleri. Called strike 2, looked inside. Spitaleri moved out of its way, but the umpire says 3-2 to Leo Spitaleri. Joe Napolitano got his first strikeout just a few moments ago, as there's a pop fly foul. Count stays full. 3-2. That's hit fair into center. Back at the wall, Ronan Stern grabs it, and there's 2 away in the top of the first. Up to the plate comes the pitcher for Ramsey today, Alex Bolger, batting .333 with 5 walks and 2 RBIs. And that'll give us a chance to look at the Bronco fielders. Of course, Napolitano, the pitcher. Catcher today is Anthony Blackford, and he catches a called strike there. At first base, as he will be probably for the entire season, is Kyle Wankus. Second filled in by Andrew Strime, swinging strike 2 there. 1 away for Joe Napolitano. Other side of second base features Ari Stern and Matt Tortora at short. High 1, 1 and 2. And then the outfields features Eddie Mulligan, who will not bat today. Joe Giordano will fill in as the designated hitter in that third slot, as well as Ronan Stern in center and Jake Lula in right. 2-2 now after the ball. Outside. Full count once again with 2 away and no men on. Joe Napolitano, first varsity start. And he has a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. He's only a sophomore. 0-0 middle of 1. The Broncos will try to get on the board next. Bottom of the second. At the plate is Kyle Wankus, who is batting an absurd .727 through 4 games and 11 at-bats. .909 slugging, but will face a tough challenge today in Alex Bolger, who has been the number 1 guy for Ramsey ever since his freshman year. With a .323 career ERA, 2 flat last year, 2.8 this year through 10 innings pitched in 2 starts, 1-1, with that loss against Northern Highlands and a 13-0 win against Woodridge. Here is his first pitch of the game. It is high for a ball. .1-0 is low, so it's 2-0 now. And Wankus riffs one into center, caught for the first out of the inning. Up comes Matt Tortora. Tortora, the second man in batting averages on this Bronco team behind Wankus, batting .545 with a .727 slugging, called strike 1. Hackensack is 2-2. They dropped their first 2 against Northern Highlands and Emerson Borough, with big losses there, and then have riffed off 2 straight wins at Woodridge and against Fort Lee. 0-2 here to Tortora. Broncos in their brown uniforms today. Home debut for them this season. Called strike 3, and 2 go away quickly. Up comes the designated hitter today. Usually either a pitcher or a center fielder, getting some time off after a big start yesterday. 5 innings pitched for this man, Joe Giordano. Wind picking up, so welcome breeze. Called strike 1. Ooh, almost went, but it was called anyway. Strike 2. 0-2. We may have a pitcher's duel on our hands. And that ball hit into center, back at the wall, and caught by the left fielder. 3 go away, and we end the first with a scoreless tie, 0-0 heading to the top of the second. Top of the second here, Napolitano, after a 1-2-3 inning, will face Joe Farrington, the senior for Hackensack, batting .250, .667 slugging, did hit a home run this season. Has 6 runs batted in. Ball 1 is the call. Called strike 1. Called strike 2. 1-2 to Joe Farrington. High. Even count. Low, but called. 1 goes away. Joe Farrington steps back to the dugout. And for the Comets, up comes Thomas Ghostlaw, a senior, batting .538, .692 slugging. Napolitano looking to bring that average down. Ball 1. And that ball ripped into right field. Lula back and makes the grab near the wall, and 2 go away. Top second, 2 away. 6th batter in the Hackensack lineup comes up. This is Thomas Ingalinera, the junior, batting .222 in both average and slugging, with 2 RBI. Won't have any to bat in here. Takes called strike 1. High. One and 1 to Ingalinera. Low and inside, so 2-1. To Ingalinera. Hit back to Tortora. Play at first is in time. And through the middle of 2, we're still scoreless. Broncos trying to put a stop to that. Here comes Andrew Strime to the plate. Cleanup hitter for the Broncos, leads off the bottom of the second inning. Hits one into center, right center field. And a big catch there from the center fielder. That is Thomas Ghostlaw making the catch as Strime goes away after 1 pitch. Sorry you could not see that. Diving catch. The right fielder came in, lost his hat, but Ghostlaw, the center fielder, no problem, as up comes Arion Stern. Ooh, called strike one inside. Bulger, 4 straight outs. It's a ball. 1-1. And he rips one into center. Right center. This time it's the right fielder making the catch. That is in Gallinera. And up comes Anthony Blackford with 2 away. And there's a rip on the first pitch. It's not going to have enough, and caught once again by In Gallinera. 1-2-3 inning for Bulger as we end the second scoreless. Here's Joe Napolitano. His first varsity start has 6 straight outs. Up comes Gabe Ramirez, who has been walked on all 3 of his at-bats so far this year. Does have 1 run. Some final warm-up pitches for Napolitano. And now we are ready to go as Ramirez steps into the box. Gabe Ramirez, he is the left fielder wearing number 13. Swings and misses on strike 1. Ball 1 there, 1-1. Called strike 2, 1-2 to Gabe Ramirez. Outside, 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike number 3. Ramirez will sit down in the dugout. As up comes the freshman Leafrey Hernandez. Called strike 1. Hernandez batting .333, 1 hit in his 3 plate appearances, 3 at-bats. High 1, ball 1. Outside, and Blackford barely got his glove on it. 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Even count for Hernandez. A freshman. His 4th at-bat of the season. Ooh, almost hit him. And now we go to a full count. High 1, ball 4, and Napolitano has his first walk of the game. First man on base is Leafrey Hernandez. And so with 1 away and 1 man on, up comes Jordan Garcia, batting .333 as well, with 1 hit and 3 plate appearances, and he readies to bunt. High pitch, ball 1. Pick off, not in time. Outside, ball 2. Called strike 1, 2-1 count. Jordan Garcia at the plate, looking for his 2nd hit in his 4th at-bat. Low in the dirt, 3-1 count. And Napolitano close to 2 straight walks. (3-1). Take what he gives you. What can Garcia do with it? Inside, called strike 2. So a full count with 1 away. Pickoff, runner goes at second. He is out. Great play from Napolitano to Wankus at first and to the shortstop Matt Tortora. 2 are away, and Napolitano quickly close to getting out of the top of the 3rd inning. No men on now, 3-2 count to Garcia at the plate. High, ball 4, and so Garcia will take his place at first base, replacing his fallen teammate. And back to the top of the order with Christian Pelaez. .467 batter in 15 at-bats. Struck out on his 16th earlier in the game. Ball 1. And so a quick talk from Nick Evans. Napolitano just about 3 innings through his first career varsity start. And it was a quick talk over. So Napolitano 1-0 against Christian Pelaez, the junior. He's playing shortstop today for Hackensack, wearing number 7. There's a man at first. That is Jordan Garcia. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Called strike 2. One, 2, Napolitano 1 out away. I think some people may be ticketed soon. We've got people parking here on Acres Avenue, which they cannot do. It is a 1-2 count. Pitches outside, 2-2. Two. Drilled. Stern cannot pick it up, and there is the first hit of the game. May not be, maybe an error from Ari Stern, and so 2 men are on, with 2 away in the top of the 3rd. That'll probably be scored as an E5. Ari Stern had a chance, but just couldn't pick it up. And now up comes Leo Spitaleri. Low pitch, ball 1. Tortora covers second. But Garcia is safe. Jordan Garcia at second base. Christian Pelaez at first. And the senior Leo Spitaleri facing a 1-0 count at the plate. One out to Spitaleri. Foul down the third base line, and diving catch from the fan in the stands. 1-1. One and one to Spitaleri. High one. 2-1 count with 2 men on. And that ball hit to Tortora. He gets the out at second, and Napolitano goes to the dugout Not with a 1-2-3 inning, but still a scoreless tie in the middle of the third. Here comes Jake Lula to the plate to begin the bottom of the third inning. There is some action in the Bronco bullpen with Eddie Mulligan warming up, although he is not on the mounds. He is just throwing around in the grass. First pitch to Jake Lula is a called strike. Oh, 1. Called strike 2. So Lula batting a 2.31 so far through 13 at-bats this season. He has played in every game. Swings and misses at strike 3. Or no, that will be strike 2. So it's a 1-2 count. And there's a ball. 2-2 for Lula, even count. And he rips one over the third baseman. It'll be the first base hit of the game for Jake Lula and the Pascack Hills Broncos. And now here is the pitcher, Joe Napolitano, batting 8th. Emerson Cho batted their last game as the second baseman, must be the developmental spot. Lula stays at first. It's called strike 1 as Napolitano pulled back from the bunt. Readying. Called strike. Lula gets back in time. 0-2 to Joe Napolitano in the bottom of the third, just about 5 o'clock here at Pascack Hills this Tuesday, April the 9th. You're watching it probably on Wednesday morning. Another pickoff to Lula is not in time at all. And Napolitano will foul one off. 0-2 here. Here it is. 0-2 pitch to Joe Napolitano, fouled the last one off. Scoreless here in our Hackensack Pascack Hills game. And Napolitano swings at strike 3. He'll be out. Or is he? No, he is not. I think he fouled that one off. 0-2 count. 2 straight foul balls. Lula almost going. Napolitano fouls one again. Throw back to first. Lula's safe. That must be the third pickoff of this at-bat. Still 0-2 at the plate. Napolitano has plenty of time to gather himself. And fair down the third base line. Lula will get to third base safely and Napolitano at first. So there are runners on the corners. 2 straight base hits after a previous no-hitter for Hackensack. And up comes Ronan Stern. Bottom of the third, none out. Napolitano on first, Jake Lula on third. And this is Ronan Stern at the plate, playing in center field today, batting .417, one of the better averages on this Bronco team so far this year. Called strike one. Oh, 1-0-0. Lula in scoring position with none out. As there's a hit over into center field, Jake Lula will score, and it's an RBI single for Ronan Stern as the Broncos take a 1-0 lead. It's a man on first and second as Kyle Wankus comes to the plate with still none out. Outfielders have shifted back a little bit. D'Angelo Rodriguez subbed on for Joe Napolitano as a pinch runner. He is at second base. Still at first is Ronan Stern. Wankus takes a high ball. One 0. Low. 2-0 count with 2 men on. Ball 3. Still Bulger on the mound has let up 3 hits here with none out and gave up a run as well. Called strike one. Mulligan is still warming up in the bullpen, but now he is making his way back to the dugout. Called strike two. So a full count here with 2 straight strikes. Fouled off. Three-two to Kyle Wankus. Ooh, just got a piece of it. Bulger using some rosin. And Wankus hits one down the third base line. 1 out at third. And Wankus out at first. So both Rodriguez and Kyle Wankus will go to the dugout. It was a double play. And just left on second base is Ari Stern. Two go away quickly. The Broncos still holds a 1-0 lead. Here's Matt Tortora. I believe that's a new walk-up song for Torts. I don't remember him liking rock. Low, ball one. Ball two. Called strike one, so it's a 2-1 count to Matt Tortora. Just past 5 o'clock. Swing and a miss for strike two. Even count 2-2 for Matt Tortora. Pitch is hit into shallow center. Second baseman makes the grab, and we head to the the end of the third inning. 1-0 Bronco lead after 3. Top of the fourth. Hackensack down 1-0 against the Pascack Hills Broncos. This is the pitcher, Alex Bulger, batting. Napolitano still on the mound as Bulger hits one foul. Outside 1-1. Two one now. And fouled off. So it's an even 2-2 count. Two-two pitch, outside, full count. Three-two to Bulger. Oh, called strike three, and Napolitano gets one away. And that'll bring up Joe Farrington, the senior, batting .250. With a 6.67 slugging, he hits one back to shallow right. Strime goes back into go away. Two away for Napolitano, and here comes Thomas Ghostlaw. Low. Swung on it. 1-1. And there's a ball hit hard into deep right field. Lula drops it, and there is the first hit of the game for Hackensack, a double. Coming from Thomas Ghostlaw. Could also be an error, but I'll call that a hit. So now a conversation on the mound with Tortora, Napolitano, and the catcher Anthony Blackford. Ari Stern comes over as well, because the main conversation was with Nick Evans and Jake Lula out in right field. Two away, man on second. And up comes Thomas in Gallinaria. Low, catcher cannot grab it. Play at third will not be made, and so the runner advances. There is a man on third representing the tying run with two out. That man is Thomas Ghostlaw. The man at the plate is Thomas Ingallinera. He represents the go-ahead run. But he has two outs and another wild pitch. 2-0 quickly. That may just be issues with Blackford and not Napolitano. That ball hit to Tortora. Play at first is in time, and so Napolitano gets out of a bit of a bad spot. We go to the middle of the fourth with a 1-0 Bronco lead. First pitch of the bottom of the fourth inning is a strike. We welcome you back to our coverage of Bronco baseball here on PH Athletics. Foul ball makes it 0-2. At the plate is Joe Giordano, designated hitter today. He's batting .267 with a .267 slugging and fouls another one off. Count stays 0-2. 0-2, Giordano another foul ball. And there's a big hit to center, deep drill, and caught. So one goes away, that being Joe Giordano, and now Andrew Strime comes to the plate. Yet another play from Thomas Ghostlaw, the center fielder for Hackensack. Strime, first pitch, called strike. Low, 1-1 pitch. High, 2-1 here. Strime, 2-1 pitch. Hits it down the third base line, picked up, and 2 go away. Here comes Ari Stern. Two away in the bottom of the fourth. No men are on, and Ari Stern is looking to change that. He hits one through the gap into right field, and Ari Stern has a base hit into left field. And that'll bring up Anthony Blackford. Pick off, not in time. Well, it's a beautiful day to have a baseball game, and a lot of people have turned out. Stern gets back to second quickly. I believe that was a ball at plate 1-0. Timeout called. Alex Bolger with 2 away. And Ari Stern on first base. Foul ball for strike number 1. Anthony Blackford, the catcher, at the plate. Broncos with a 1-0 lead over Hackensack, a Group 4 school, meaning they are of the biggest classification. And once again, the pickoff not in time on Ari Stern. Called strike 2. One and 2 to Anthony Blackford. He hits one to short, and that'll do it for the inning. End of the fourth, 1-0 Bronco lead. Here we are in the top of the fifth inning. Eddie Mulligan has replaced Joe Napolitano as the Bronco pitcher, and Napolitano has moved into left field to replace Mulligan. Good start for Napolitano. 1 or 2 hits let up, and no runs. Mulligan, of course, had the start in Napolitano's first varsity appearance last Saturday against White Englewood. In that start, he accrued a 1.75 ERA through 4 innings and 57 pitches. Napolitano came in for the last 3. His first batter of the game will be Gabe Ramirez. Top of the fifth inning. Sun is nearly setting. Tua. Called strike one. 2-1 count for Mulligan in his first at-bat of this game. Three-one count here for Mulligan. Pitching to Gabe Ramirez. Called strike 2. So a full count on his first at-bat. And there's a ground ball to Jake Lula. Neither Wankus or Strime could grab it, and so there is one man on. And that'll bring up the freshman, Leafrey Hernandez. Bunt is missed. I believe that was a ball. That ball hit in the infield as Tortora catches to grab one out. Still a man on first, as up comes Jordan Garcia. Strike one called. Ball one low. Mulligan one away, 1-1 with a man on first. High pitch, 2-1 count to Garcia. pitch. Runner does not go. He's antsy, looking for the perfect opportunity, but hasn't taken it just yet. It's a 3-1 count at the plate for Garcia. Jordan Garcia facing a 3-1 count. The pitch from Eddie Mulligan. Inside, called strike 2. Full count with 1 away. Going foul. That runner is all jumpy. Had an opportunity pickoff from Mulligan, is not in time. And ball 4 there will let a man on first and second base. Still 1 away, and up comes the top of the Hackensack order, led by Christian Pelaez. Low pitch for ball 1 for Mulligan. His first inning and 4th at-bat of this game. It is 5:30 p.m. on this Tuesday afternoon, heading to the evening, 2-0. And now, Nick Evans will come to the mound along with the rest of the infield Broncos for another talk as one man makes his way to the bullpen for Pascack Hills. I cannot make out who it is just yet, but I believe I see number 24, and that means it is Corey Ginsberg, if that is correct. Mound conference over. The man in the bullpen is Ginsberg. 2-0 count with 1 out and 2 men on first and second. And that ball hit into right. Lula to the wall. It falls foul. Wankus also came back to try and grab it, but neither of them could get there in time. They may have lost it in the sun, which is getting close to setting, although we should be able to finish this out in light. High pitch, 3-1. Strike 2 called. It is once again a full count. Last time we were on a full count, it was a walk. Let's see what Mulligan can do here. Facing Christian Pelaez at the plate, and pitches a ball. So the bases are loaded after that walk. And now Eddie Mulligan is in a bit of trouble if he wants to maintain this 1-0 Bronco lead with 1 out. Hit down the third base line. Play cannot be made. Stern grabs it, but it's an RBI single for Hackensack and for Leo Spitaleri. We are tied at 1. And the bases stay loaded with 1 away. Pinch runner for the Comets comes in for Spitaleri. High ball. This is the pitcher, Alex Bulger, at the plate. We are tied at 1. In the top of the 5th inning, there's 1 out, and the bases are loaded. There's a deep drive into right center. It's going to fall. That's going to be 2, maybe 3. The play at the plate will stop the runner at third, and it is an RBI double for Alex Bulger, which gives Hackensack a 3-1 lead. Hit into right center field. And there is still 1 out for Eddie Mulligan. Mulligan now facing Joe Farrington, who takes a ball. I think Ginsburg's time may be coming soon, as there's another rip foul down the first base line. One and one. Drew Gierloff, the messenger, running back and forth between the bullpen and the dugout. There's no phones here. Strike 2, swinging. And he hits one deep into right center. It is gone. A 3-run home run for Hackensack. The second of the year for Joe Farrington. And quickly, this game has gone from a 1-0 Bronco lead to a 6-1, Hackensack lead. We are still in the top of the 5th with 1 out, and that ball has taken some nice residence just past the center field wall. Still 1 out. I am not surprised that Eddie Mulligan has come off. He started the inning with a 1-0 lead and comes off with his team down 6-1. And I mean this with no harm to Eddie Mulligan, but that was an absolute disaster. Now it is Corey Ginsburg's chance to shine on the mound. The stat books and my memories say that this is his first appearance of the season. He is due to face Thomas Ghostlaw first, who before this game was batting .538 with 2 doubles so far, not counting this game. Well, the Hackensack parents are ready to receive the home run ball. Coming back here to retrieve it. I'm sure you can hear them. Joe Farrington with it. The home run. This is Thomas Ghostlaw. At the plate, Corey Ginsberg on the mound for the Pascack Hills Broncos. High ball. Inside, ball 2. Fouled off, so it's a 2-1 count. This matchup has not taken place since 2021. That was a Hackensack win, 1-0. In what must have been a Tournament of Champions game or something, because that was in early June. Ginsberg makes the play at first and 2 go away. High pitch. 1-0 with 2 out and none on. This for Corey Ginsberg to Thomas Ingalaneria. Another high one. So it's 2-0. .3-0. Might have called 1 strike. There's 1. 3-1 for Corey Ginsberg up against Thomas Ingalanera. He is at the plate. Has gone 2 for 9 so far before this game. Stern, the throw to first is in time. And the Broncos go to the middle of the 5th. They were up 1-0 at the start of this inning. They'll be down 6-1 as they come up to bat. It should be stated that this game has about the least amount of importance that a regular season game could have with it just being for power points in qualification for the state tournament. No league championship or county championship on the line here. Nevertheless, it is 6-1 in the bottom of the fifth, and Jake Lula is the batter. He hits one foul down the first base line. There's a hit in the infield. Oh, dropped, and Lula will get on base. Up comes Joe Napolitano, the pitcher, now the left fielder after the change. None out, and Lula gets on first with an error. Strike one called. Lula gets back to first in time. Checked his swing, didn't go. 1-1. Lula at first, Napolitano at the plate. He hits one to the infield at first. Napolitano is out, but Lula is safe at second. So Jake Lula goes into scoring position. Joe Napolitano is out. And now Ronan Stern comes to the plate. The pitcher for Hackensack is still Alex Bolger. Ooh, called strike one. That was a good pitch from Bolger. Nice off-speed catches Ronan Stern. Stern bunting. He gets down the first base line, but will not get there in time, so two go away, and Jake Lula gets to third base. Sack bunt for Ronan Stern will bring up Kyle Wankus. Low. 1-0 with two out and Lula on third. Kyle Wankus is the batter. He has a .727 average before this game started. 1-1 here. This is his third at-bat of the game. And Wankus hits one. Shortstop goes over to grab it. And he was safe because the first baseman jumped up to get it. He was off the base, and Jake Lula scores to make it a 6-2 ball game. Two away, and Kyle Wankus on first base. So up comes Matt Tortora. Tortora pulls back from the bunt. Play at second will go into center, and Kyle Wankus steals with a little bit of a challenge, but not much. At the plate, I believe, 0-1. Don't trust me on that. I'm not the official scorer. So Wankus at second. That's a ball. 1-1. Ooh, big pickoff move, but nobody on Hackensack was ready for it. So Wankus stays alive. There's still 2 out. The Broncos did get 1 run out of this inning, but they'll need 4 more to tie. Matt Tortora trying to extend the inning. 1-1 pitch. Low and outside. 2-1. Wankus going. Play at third is in time. I don't know what's going on. Was it in time? I don't think it was. Umpires are talking, but I think Wankus is safe at third. So yes, with 2 away, Kyle Wankus is on third base. And I believe it is a 2-2 count. Big pitch here for Alex Bolger. Has pitched 5 innings with little issue. And Torts hits one into right. Should be an easy play. And there goes the inning. So Wankus is stranded on third. The Hackensack Comets lead 6-2 at the end of 5 on the Pascack Hills Broncos. We may see 4 Bronco pitchers today. And not only is it the first appearance of the season for Corey Ginsberg, who is on the mound right now, it may very well be the first appearance of the season for D'Angelo Rodriguez, who is warming up behind me in the bullpen as we talk. Called strike 1. This is excuse me 1 second. This is Gabe Ramirez at the plate with a 1-1 count. Ooh, he almost fell trying to avoid that one. 2-1. No more changes after Mulligan came off the mound. Still Napolitano in left. So there's a ground ball to Tortora. He'll pick it up. Oh, no, he dropped it. And it'll be an error for Matt Tortora. Which puts Gabe Ramirez on first base. And now Leafrey Hernandez comes up, the freshman. Strike one called. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. None out and a man on first. Ooh, wild pitch, and Garcia will not get to second. Tortora makes the play. More from a pop from catcher Anthony Blackford. Beautiful pop and a beautiful out. Gets Gabe Ramirez, and so there's one out and none on. And I believe we have an 0-1 count at the plate. Make it 0-2. Or wait, I forgot. Excuse me. I reset the count. There's 2 away now after that called strikeout. We are in a mess today. How about that? Hopefully it's still enjoyable for all of you at home. And here's Jordan Garcia at the plate. Ginsburg dealing. That is going to be fouled down the first base line. Ooh, hit him. So Garcia heads to first with 2 away, and up comes Christian Pelaez once again for, I believe, his 4th at-bat of the game as we get a plane overhead. Fouled off, 0-1. Ground ball down the first base line. Strime to Wenkes, and will go to the middle of the 6th. 6-2. Hackensack lead. Can the Broncos eat into it? They have 2 more chances. To start the bottom of the 6th, Joe Giordano. Outside, ball 1. Strike 1 called. Still Alex Bulger on the mound. He has pitched 5 innings. Pitches the ball there. So 2-1 count. Low off the catcher's glove, 3-1. And Giordano will take his base. And that'll bring up Andrew Strime. Strike one called there. Giordano gets back in time. And there's a ground ball. It gets through. Andrew Strime has a base hit, and it's 2 hits to start off the bottom of the 6th inning. And that'll bring up Arion Stern. And now Hackensack will take their chance to talk things over. This may be the last we see of Alex Bulger. We have not seen anybody in the Comet bullpen warming up. D'Angelo Rodriguez did finish his warm-up session. We will see if he closes this one out for the Broncos. Bulger is still on the mound after the conference. Ari Stern is at the plate. Joe Giordano is on second base, and Andrew Strime is on first base. In the dirt for ball 1. Swing and a miss for strike 1 from Stern. Strike 2 called. Fouled off just barely. Stern got his bat on it. 1-2. As there's a high foul ball down the first base line and into the trees. One, two still. High, 2-2, even count. And there's one hit down the third baseline, foul. 2-2 to Ari Stern. Alex Bolger still the pitcher for Hackensack. Called strike 3, 1 out. Batter is now Anthony Blackford, who takes a called strike. And Blackford drills one into right, making the catch. And here comes Giordano tagging up to get to third. So there are 2 out. Joe Giordano is at third base. Andrew Strime is still at first base. We are in the bottom of the 6th with a 4-run Hackensack lead. This is now Jake Lula at the plate for the Broncos. Strime gets back in time. Ooh, fouled one off. 0-1. Didn't even have to throw, but Strime got back in time. Bolger with an incredible game, looking to finish 6 innings. Here goes Strime, no throw. So there's 2 runners in scoring position with a 1-1 count, I believe. And another conference may see Bolger step off. Bolger is still on the mound as we continue with the bottom of the 6th inning, second conference of this inning. And Jake Lula has a 1-1 count at the plate. High and inside for ball 2. Called strike 2. Even count at 2 with 2 out and 2 men on. Let's hope Jake Lula's lucky number is 2. It was not. End of the 6th. Alex Bolger is 1 half inning away from a complete game. 6-2. The Broncos have 2 more chances to come back. We are in the top of the seventh. Corey Ginsberg is still the pitcher for the Pascack Hills Broncos. Here is his first pitch of possibly his final inning. And Leo Spitaleri is going to take a base off of a pitch that he must have turned into, but I don't think he got hit by that. Umpire said he did, however, and so that will bring up Alex Bulger, the pitcher. Just past 6:15 on this Tuesday, April night. Evening would be a better word. Fouled off, strike one. Batter is having a talk with the umpire here. Took a timeout. And now Bulger steps back in with an 0-1 count. Ginsberg, 0-1, is hit into deep right center. Lula back makes the grab. And one is away with one man on first. There's a fly ball into right. It's going to drop Lula. The throw to first will not be in time, and so there are two men on with one out now off of that base hit from Joe Farrington. And it will bring up Thomas Ghostlaw. Swing and a miss, strike one for Ghostlaw. Low pitch, 1-1. That was a ball, 2-1. And there's a hit into right. Lula over to the wall to grab it. Foul behind the fence. 2-2 even count. Men on first and second. Thomas Ghostlaw at the plate for Hackensack. They have a 4-run lead over the Broncos. In the top of the seventh inning, they play just 7 regulation innings in New Jersey high school baseball. There's a fair ball to Stern. Has some trouble with it, and it's a base hit. Bases are loaded with one out, and it looks like the Comets are going to grab some more insurance runs. That brings up Thomas in Gallinera with a chance for an RBI. Strike one called. He turned away from it. Has 2 RBI so far this season. Looking for number 3. And a wild pitch will not score anyone. It's 1-1. We may see Rodriguez. We may not. It's all up to Coach Nick Evans from here on out. Fouled it off. 1-2. And there's a hit into center. Stern doesn't have to move to grab it. Tag up at the plate. Safe. It is 7-2. Hackensack leads with 1 out and 2 out and runners on the corners. Back to a 5-run Bronco deficit. Pick off, not in time. At the plate right now is Gabe Ramirez. Foul ball. Going. The throw from Brackford is low, and there's a man on second and third. At the plate, low pitch, ball 1. Two, 1 to Ramirez. Called strike. 2-2, I believe. No. 3-1. Ginsburg still on the mound with 2 away in the top of the 7th. And runners on second and third. Called strike 3. Okay, so it was 2-2. And we go to the middle of the 7th with a 7-2 Hackensack lead. The Broncos need 5 runs at least to tie this one up in 1 inning. Emerson Cho is batting. If my eyes see right, I wouldn't be surprised if they're wrong. But they are right. And he takes a called strike one. Not from Alex Boger, who put up 6 innings and let up just 2 runs, but instead he is facing a man who was not on the given roster for me from Hackensack. It is an 0-1 count to Joe. Called strike 2. And there's a ground ball. Will be out at first, 1 away. And so Ronan Stern comes up with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. One 0 off that pitch. Two 0. Ronan Stern with 1 out and none on in the bottom of the 7th, down 5 runs. I believe 3-1, or 3-0, excuse me. Called strike 1. Stern threw his bat away, thought it was a ball, but this umpire likes calling the inside zone. And it is fouled off, so we have a full count. Here's the pitch. Hit into center. Ronan Stern has a 1-out base hit and gets on first for the Broncos, which will bring up Kyle Wankus. Oh, called strike 1, looked high. That was a ball. About the same area that last pitch was. 2 different calls. We got some birds camping out here. Wankus hits one high. It's an infield fly, but it is foul no matter what. 2-2 with 1 out and Ronan Stern sitting on first base, as these birds in front of me are sitting on the wall. There's one. You're on camera, buddy. 2-2 is fouled off again. So Kyle Wankus has a 2-2 count with one out and a man on first, down 5 runs. And he hits a base hit. It gets through the second baseman. And there are 2 men on base for the Broncos, with Ronan Stern on second now, 1 away. Matt Tortora comes to the plate with a chance to do what he did in the state playoffs last year, which is get a 3-run home run. We shall see if that happens. Very unlikely, but possible. There's a hit, foul, 0-1. And Torts fouls one again, 0-2. To Matt Tortora. Didn't go, low pitch. Torts, ground ball, first baseline, second out of the inning. Runners did advance, but there are 2 away. This is Joe Giordano at the plate. Foul ball. 0-1 for Giordano. Could be the last batter of this one. Low pitch, 1-1. Wankus on second, Ronan Stern on third. Giordano at the plate. Broncos down 5. That is a pop fly, catchable, but foul. Two out. 1-2 count in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 strike away for Hackensack from going home. Out inside, 2-2 now. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Giordano and the Broncos sit, and Group 4 defeats Group 2. Hackensack takes a 7-2 win over Pascack Hills, gets their third win of the season. They're now 3-2. The Broncos go to 3-2 as well with their second loss of the season. They'll shake hands. Our next broadcast will be live tomorrow, either here on the YouTube or on Huddle TV. That's Wednesday, April the 10th, with some boys lacrosse action. We're off Thursday and back on Friday. Next week, we'll talk about what happens then. Our final score, 7-2. This has been a presentation of PH Athletics, your home of the 2023 New Jersey State Group 2 Baseball Champions. I'm Matthew Merlino. So long from Pascack Hills.